Hi, everyone. Welcome to The Walk. We're starting a new session called Encounters with Jesus. In these 4 sessions of Encounters with Jesus, you will hear how people were changed by meeting Jesus personally. Although these encounters were over 2,000 years ago, the struggles that people had were not very different than the struggles we have today. Encounters with Jesus is life-changing when we choose to seek Him and follow in His footsteps. In this first session, we will hear the story of a demon-possessed man and how his encounter with Jesus drastically changed his life. Jesus and the disciples had just been through a terrible storm. They were in a boat on a lake. The disciples are shaking in disbelief that Jesus had spoke to the storm to make it stop. When they finally land the boat, their terrifying ordeal is about to get worse when they realize that they were in a cemetery. Things got a little scarier when a demon-possessed man covered in blood with broken chains hanging from his wrists and ankles runs towards Jesus, yelling and screaming. If this was a Halloween movie, then the opening scene would be gripping. The disciples no doubt were very frightened. Jesus, on the other hand, remained calm because he knew why this man was acting so strange. In biblical times, they called it demon-possessed, meaning Satan had sent evil spirits to live inside this man. In our modern-day world, we have psychology and medical science to determine forms of mental illness, much like this man had, but today he may be diagnosed with anxiety and depression, or a more severe illness such as multiple personality disorder, schizophrenia, or a psychosis. This man was all alone and had no family or friends to care for him. No one in town wanted to be around him because he acted so strange. People didn't have the means we have today to deal with mental illness. So chains were used to protect people from those who had this condition. However, this man was very strong and he broke his chains. He kept himself hidden by living in a mountainous region outside of town in a cemetery where no one would find him. Biblical scholars believe that the reason he was covered in blood was because he used pieces of glass to cut himself in an effort to cope with his emotional turmoil. Jesus saw the darkness in this man and how much he was hurting both physically and mentally and wanted to heal him. Jesus spoke with compassion to the evil spirits inside of him and asked, "What is your name?" In a very strange voice, the man replied, "My name is Legion, for we are many." Jesus commanded that the evil spirits leave this man immediately. Here's where the story gets a little strange. The evil spirits left the man and went inside a herd of pigs that were nearby. When this happened, all the pigs began to act crazy before running and jumping off a cliff into the sea. Imagine having or witnessing this encounter with Jesus. The ones who had been tending to the pigs couldn't believe what they had just seen. They rushed to tell everyone in town. When the people from town had heard that that demon-possessed man was cured, they were in disbelief and had to go see for themselves. The sight of this man fully clothed and in his right mind, sitting quietly and talking with Jesus, was a miracle and caused many people to follow Jesus, including this man. For many people, this encounter with a deranged, wild man living in a cemetery would be someone to avoid and dismiss. Instead, Jesus saw the hidden conditions that caused this man to be ill. Today, encounters with Jesus take on many different forms. In the unexpected moments, they happen in the ordinary and extraordinary, in people, places, and things that come in and out of our lives. During COVID-19, studies are showing that mental illness is on the rise. The pandemic has been a difficult time and is a large disruptor in our lives, especially for those who are accustomed to socializing with family and friends. If you are noticing a change in your moods, sleep patterns, or appetite, or are having feelings of hopelessness, isolation, depression, and anxiety, or know someone who is, these are hidden signs that help is needed. You are not alone. You have a family and friends and a church that love and care for you. Like the man in the cemetery, I encourage you to reach out for help. Talk to a parent or an adult that you trust. And do the same if you know someone who is experiencing any of these behaviors. This is not something to avoid or dismiss. In 1 John chapter 3, verse 18, it says, "My child, our love should not be just words and talk. It must be true love, which shows itself in action." Let's be open to encounters with Jesus. Believe in his healing powers, and remember, as his followers, we are called to reach out and let our actions show love and compassion to those in need. Have a great week. Love and miss you all.